Today's video is brought to you by the subscribe button and the notification bell. Don't forget to click both of them down below. Hey, what's up guys? Joker here, and I hope you're all enjoying your weekend. Thus far, there was a few PC gaming news stories that cropped up this morning, so I just wanted to get a quick Saturday video out for you guys to keep you updated on a couple of things that we've talked about in the past that have updates to them, and also some new information as well. So we're going to start things off over on PC games, and this is concerning the Halo Master Chief Collection and the testing flights, which we first talked about when it was first revealed for the PC, which I think we've all been waiting for. Everyone is super excited to see the Halo Master Chief Collection come out on PC. Not only did it come into PC, but it's even coming to Steam. So these testing flights, which is basically what they're calling their open, or I guess it's a closed beta technically. You had to sign up for it. I'm not sure if everyone's going to get selected or if it's a small number of people, but basically it's a beta. They were supposed to be releasing this back in April. Then towards the end of April, it was revealed, which another story that I covered, that it was actually going to be delayed, which we thought maybe it would come out by the end of May, hopefully. But now everything is actually pointing to the fact that it will not come out until after E3 of 2019, which is taking place in the second week of June. So it seems like we will not see these until after that. Hopefully during the PC Gaming Show, which takes place every year at E3, maybe they'll reveal some more information about the Master Chief Collection. That sounds like kind of the perfect place for them to really talk about this. And Microsoft has made some pretty big reveals at that event in the past before. Things like the Gears of War 1 remaster coming to the PC, things like that were announced at that show. So I think that's kind of the stage where they're probably going to take advantage of for this, rather than maybe the main Microsoft show. But who knows? I could be wrong. Maybe we'll see it at both. Maybe we'll just see it at one or the other. We'll just have to wait and see. What 343 had to say on this is they said currently it doesn't look like public flighting will begin prior to E3. That's coming from Brian Gerard. He goes on to say that the team has made a lot of progress on a number of areas, but everything is just taking time, in some cases longer than initially anticipated. And so far, pretty much the PC community has been supportive of them and saying, you know, it's okay, take as much time as you need, which I am fully behind. I think they should take as much time as they need, especially after all the issues that the Master Chief Collection had when it launched back in 2014 on the Xbox One. I just think they need to take as much time with this, make sure that it's all good and ready to go for when it's actually hitting the beta phase, so that there's not any bad impressions made with that test. And I guess this should really be expected, because ever since the Master Chief Collection got announced, the developers have been extremely open about what they are doing and how they're keeping things on track and the way they're going to be releasing things. And inevitably, whenever a developer does this, we've seen this in the past with Overwatch, like when that first came out, the dev team was extremely open about things they were planning to implement and such like that, and the consequence of that really is that you kind of get people excited for things, and then, you know, if stuff doesn't happen in that exact timeline, it kind of puts things back on the back burner a little bit. Things get delayed. So it's kind of just, it's a consequence of them being so open about the development process, which I personally appreciate. I like the openness rather than just closing off and not saying anything about it. So yeah, once again, you know, take as much time as you need with it, but hopefully we'll get it sooner rather than later. I mean, right now we're expecting to see all the Master Chief Collection games releasing by the end of the year. But, you know, if they take until, you know, halfway into 2020 to get them all out and get them all polished and perfect, then I'm perfectly fine with that. Let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on this. Next up, we have a follow-up to the Epic Game Store mega sale, which I covered yesterday, and the mega disaster that it was after they put a couple of games on there, namely Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2, and also the game Oxygen Not Included. So those two games were available as part of their mega sale, where you can get $10 off of your pre-order. Basically, that's $10 off of any game over $15. The problem was that Epic didn't approach any of these developers or the publishers and get their permission ahead of time, so these publishers ended up pulling their games off of the store until the mega sale was over. And now the game Borderlands 3 is joining the ranks, as Take-Two has decided to go ahead and pull Borderlands 3 completely from the Epic Store for the mega sale. Initially, they had just removed the $10 discount, but now, as part of this update, they've actually completely removed the Borderlands 3 pre-order from the Epic Game Store, which is just, it's so shit. I mean, I know there was a lot of people yesterday. There was a few things I wanted to address. Like, number one was I accidentally made the mistake of saying that Vampire Bloodlines 2 was going to be an Epic Store exclusive. I misspoke on that, and it's actually available on Steam and GOG as well. So that was just something I misspoke on, and I addressed it down in the comments, but the comments are still coming into this moment saying that, you were wrong about that, which I was, and I stand by that. So yeah, my bad. And the other one was, why are you so upset about this? I mean, and I'm not upset, but I mean, I don't like the Epic Game Store. I don't like what they stand for right now with their anti-competitive practices. So kind of anything that goes against them just brings me a little bit of happiness. And I think it does for a lot of you out there as well. And, seeing this is just kind of evidence of just how unorganized they are as a store. And even though this isn't impacting me or you guys really as a consumer with them having this mega sale going on and charging less for these games, it does impact the developers and the publishers, because even if they are still getting their full cut, which appears to be the case at this time, they're still getting their full cut from the Epic Store, it definitely goes to devalue their game license or their IP, their intellectual property. If you got a game coming out for $60 and it's discounted $10 before the game even comes out, I mean, that should be the publisher's decision if they have a reason behind doing that. But if a store just does it, then it definitely can kind of set a precedent and, devalue the game in some gamers' minds. So that's kind of why it bothers me. But yeah, again, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on this. But it appears right now, at least Borderlands 3 and these other two games are completely off the Epic Store, but they will return after the mega disaster sale is over. Last up, but certainly not least, this was one that kind of caught me off guard, as I think it probably will for most of you. If you remember, there was a Ghostbusters game that came out on the Xbox 360, and I believe it was on the PS3 as well, and it was basically kind of like what the third Ghostbusters movie should have been. They worked very closely with people like Dan Aykroyd to do the story for this. They brought back the original cast to do the voice acting for it. And it kind of had mixed reviews in terms of actual gameplay. It was just kind of an average game. I would say maybe it's like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. But I enjoyed it mostly for the nostalgia factor. As being a child of the 80s, I was a massive Ghostbusters fan as a kid. I mean, I used to have the outfits, the pack, the car, I mean, the Ghostbuster firehouse. I had everything Ghostbusters related. Ghostbusters was like my life in the late 80s and early 90s. I'm pretty sure I went through 3 VHS copies of the original Ghostbuster film because I would watch it so many friggin' times. So I'm happy to see that this is actually, it looks like they're going to be doing a remaster of that 2009 game. This has been leaked actually by the Korean ratings board, which has been responsible for other leaks in the past. Games like Octopath Traveler, Okami HD, and Sunset Overdrive. Basically, it was submitted to them and they've released their rating for the game. So if they're releasing a rating for a remaster of Ghostbusters, it would stand to reason that at some point in the future, which we don't know exactly when that will be, we know absolutely no details on this whatsoever other than the fact that it is very likely in development as a result of this leak. So I'm definitely excited to actually see this come to PC. I would certainly pick this up for like, I don't know, like say $15-20. I would definitely be a buyer of that. If they do a remaster with like better textures, 4K textures and all that, ultra wide and 4K support, high refresh rates and everything, include all the DLCs, I think this would be pretty sweet to see. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts, though, on all the stories. As always, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'm going to go get out of there. Talking over my tongue. My tongue's in the way. I'm just going to go now while I'm ahead. I'll see you on Monday for another video.